guys, and it's great to be able to see you guys. Tekla, we did some research with you guys. Brightspark did some research with you guys on AI and marketing. OpenAI launched in November 2022, and within, I think, the shortest time possible, it hit 1 million users on the site. I myself was blown away instantaneously by the technology. A lot of guys in advertising industry were a bit slow to pick up on it, but then I think almost a year in, we're seeing all this tech coming out that is building up a lot of tools that can enable people to use AI for different things, and it has quickly changed everything. But I know on the back end of things, it matters a lot for us as creatives, as strategists and all that. You use AI to be able to help you do a lot of things. But my question when we did the One Pulse research was, do the consumers care? Does it matter to them? We've seen last year there's a lot of buzz around Safaricom doing ads with AI. They did their 2024 calendar with AI. I don't know, Moav, if you got to see that. And it caused an uproar and a lot of discussions in a lot of the advertising circles. So it just geared me to think, do the consumers really care then about all these tools that we're using?
I'd say AI is being used in many levels. Being able to, especially for people who are making creative campaigns that are based on consumer research, just being able to reduce the time taken to go through different data sets, that being able to get consumer insights. So I know there's a campaign which was able to go through hundreds of thousands of data sets in just a few hours, something that will actually take several weeks to go through. Like, just upload the data into ChatGPT and say, what does this mean? And they're able to do that. So it's being able to reduce the time taken to be able to go through data sets and get insights, consumer insights. That is like on the strategy side, on the research side. In terms of creative, we are having more and more people being able to generate campaigns using AI. So if it's going to be your copy, if it's going to be the images, and now there's even music being generated on AI.
Yeah, so, I thought finance bill.
Yes, it's a ChatGPT, which is actually now just answering questions about the finance bill. Somebody created a ChatGPT for that.
Yeah.
So we're having, I think, the beauty about it is that now more and more people have the tools necessary to actually get communication that engages out there. Whereas previously it was the reserve for the big agency or the big corporations to actually do that. Now an individual with a good internet connection can actually generate good stuff, quality, engaging communication, just using different AI tools, which are readily available to them. So for me, the industry, which formerly had gatekeepers, people saying who can and can't do what, is the gatekeeping is now gone. Thanks to AI, because many more people are able to do whatever they want using the AI tools available.
Okay. I think it's what most people talk about really is time. Time now has been compressed. What you've just given us an example of, from days or weeks really analyzing and having mammoth number of people looking at this data. Now you just have one machine processing it in a matter of hours.
It has changed personalization in a really big way, because where us as humans, when we're doing ads or like doing any marketing campaigns, we tend to group people into different audiences or demographics. AI goes the extra mile, understanding each and every person and what they're looking for. So personalization has become such a big thing, and people are now preferring, like, they don't really mind, like, businesses using AI to recommend products to them because they know that it's going to be personalized to what they want or what they need or what they like, rather than what used to be one size fits all, and those who are reached by that kind of campaign and feel it applies to them, then they would go for it. But now we're seeing a whole new way where businesses cannot even afford to just do one type of campaign. They're doing very different types of campaigns. Like if it's on social and you're on Twitter, you're on X, you're doing a different kind of communication from what you're doing on Facebook, because people are different in each platform.
Wow. So that's so intensive, yeah. Because if you think about now, if you blow it up on an integrated marketing strategy or an integrated marketing approach, it goes now further down. Now, not just it was above the line, digital, and below the line. Now, digital now has even gone into more ingrained strategies. I don't know if above the line now has caught up that you'd do a different campaign on, let's say, an English-speaking station to a Swahili-speaking station and all that. Do you think that the engagement levels, because of the use of AI, has gone up, or is it stagnant? Is it going down?
I think it's gone up, especially with digital interactive ads, especially because people are embracing this new era of connectedness, where connection is not just physical. Because you see, below the line, a lot of the times depends or relies on that physical attendance. If it's a roadshow or if it's an experiential, maybe activation somewhere, that kind of relies on the physicality of it. But then it comes to technology and the digital aspect of it. People do like that now there's a new way of connecting and it doesn't have to be physical. So just like what we're doing right now, we can connect with you from wherever you are. We can have a very meaningful conversation. We can exchange thoughts. We can actually do a lot more without having to wait for the right moment for us to be in the same space, in the same physical space to do something. So I think you can see that from the research we did, only 2% of people, 2% were concerned at all about brands using technology to recommend them products. Everybody else is comfortable. And then we also saw that a majority, which was about 67%, saying that ads infused to technology, AI technology especially, understand their preferences better than the traditional way of doing it. So I think it's made engagement a lot higher.
Okay, yeah, I think with the back end it makes sense. But when it comes to the front end, and maybe Moav, you can speak to this, because when I scroll through TikTok and Instagram, now there are these AI models. I mean, for all you know, I could be an AI just sitting here having a discussion with you. Does that appeal to the audience? You know?
I think for the audience, what matters is, does a message connect with me? Almost like what's in it for me in whatever communication you're putting through. That is what matters at the end of the day to any audience. Not necessarily is it an animation, is it an AI, is it a live action. It says what's in it for me. And that's what matters to people at the end of the day. I know the people in our industry all up in arms when different companies, Safaricom, Superloaf, Farmers Choice, different schools now started using AI models for their communication. We're like, oh, now photographers, models are losing work and all that. And there was so much ruckus about it. But at the end of the day, I think we are the only ones who really noticed that, oh, this is an AI model being used. It is not a real person. This is not necessarily Kenyan. This is not a Ugandan. This is not a Tanzanian. This is actually just somebody who has actually been generated through some nice lines of prompt. But for the consumer, at the end of the day, I don't think for, let me say, a majority of the consumers, it does not really matter. So long as the message actually resonates with them, and they can see this is a certain product or this is a certain service being sold and this is how it's going to benefit me, I think that is all that matters to them.
I've seen also the development and the movement of AI now. Some of the images coming out are so realistic. And Moav, you actually wrote an article about this, that will AI drive photographers out of a job? I don't know what some of the comments on that article.
Yeah, and that article, that was an opinion I had at the beginning of the year. We are almost halfway through 2024. And as I can affirmatively say that AI is not about to take our jobs away any single bit. Like, I'd say a lot of AI will be used when doing the tactical campaigns. If a company has a 1 week offer, 2 week offer, certain offer being done for a certain season, AI will be there to be able to quickly churn out generative AI will be able to churn out quick images, somebody holding a phone, happy shopper, somebody celebrating winnings quickly, not a problem. But when companies need to do something that is more thematic, something that will be talking about who they are as an organization, something that will be making a position statement, then they will still rely on traditional means of creating content. So somebody going out to the camera, filming, taking photos, actual models, actual locations, or even if it's a green screen. The need to use humans, the need to use photographers or videographers to be able to create more thematic content will still be there. And there's still some things that AI will not be able to replicate. There's some certain nuances that we have as Kenyans. If it's, say, a picture of a Mutura kibanda, a picture of a roast maize or a sugar cane or a matatu.
Isn't it just a matter of time? Because
no,
Moab takes enough pictures of Mutura and matatu. It's integrated into the AI machinery, and eventually we will be able to get that. Or, I mean, don't you
know? Yeah. I don't think, because a lot of the data sets that are being used to train the AI models are very Western. They still, the way they're sort of like slow to adopt or slow to get digital that we've had in Africa has ended up becoming very beneficial to we photographers, meaning that we will still be required to make actual depictions of life in Nairobi or life in Africa in a way, and we'll be doing it in a way that AI models cannot be able to do it. So I believe our jobs are comfortable, we are secure. For now.
For now.
I'll put it for now. I don't know how long now is. And at the end of the day, we will still be required to be the ones who are actually putting the prompts to the language models because we as the photographers, we are the original content creators, will be able to tell, does this look realistic or not? What kind of changes will we need to make to the prompt to make something that is more realistic looking, other than what Midjourney or DALL-E has actually generated for you. So as photographers, our future is secure.
I just wanted to mention that I agree with Moab in that I think one of the things, being in the research space, we started researching things as soon as it started becoming like a concern for people. And one thing that we've seen is that shift where people started with fear, oh my God, this thing is going to take our jobs, to now acceptance in a way that this thing is here to actually complement us or help us do our jobs better or simplify certain things within our jobs, not completely take over. So we've seen a good number of people shift their acceptance of AI from, I like the dooms approach here. Yeah. This thing is going to, like, AI is going to replace everybody. Yeah. To, actually, this is helping us do our jobs much more efficiently. But then again, still remains to be seen what's going to happen, because I think, as Mark says, a lot of the training right now is based on Western inputs and things like that. But since even here in Kenya, we're using AI right now, that means we are starting to train it in our ways. Because I think one of the things I've noticed with an AI like Gemini, for instance, it has, since it has access to Google, it makes it much more like a bit ahead of GPT in that it can give you very localized information compared to GPT that might not have that. So the fact that it has access, so if anything has been covered on Google and you ask Gemini, it will be able to pull that out for you. I think that's a really big challenge right now. because it's really hard to figure out what's real. Even on social media right now, you get on and you don't know what's actually true and what's false. So that's become a very big challenge. But then it's also come kind of in a way as a positive, because it's pushing people to actually do more research, not just take things at face value. So where before someone would say something and you'd be like, oh, this has to be fact. Now people see it and then they go research and find out what, like, is this actually the truth? Are people saying, are more people believing this, or are there opposing opinions on the same? So I think that has forced people into doing their own personal research. As far as it goes, when it comes to like products, I don't think people are really bothered about AI, because percent told us that they're very comfortable with AI. They don't really mind it as much. And I think, as Marv has mentioned, even with the new age of AI influencers, these guys have hundreds of thousands of followers online, and they're being followed by humans. We don't care that it's not a real person. We care that their message resonates. But now for the misinformation, I think we might need to dig a bit deeper on that and see how people are approaching that. But so far, what we've observed through research is that people are doing a bit more research. They are not as quick to believe things as they used to before. Because today you see someone telling you, oh, drinking lemon water is good for you. Tomorrow someone else is saying, oh, drinking lemon water actually causes this and that and that. So that has pushed people to actually make their own decisions, not just follow people blindly like they used to.
To add my voice to the trust issue or the misinformation issue, I don't think it would ever be resolved. It has never been resolved since Adam and Eve. Since Eve was told, eat this apple and you get to know everything. That was the first case of misinformation that ever happened, and it's been there throughout. Because what's true for me may not be true for you. You know, if my truth is that what you're saying is a lie, then we'll never be able to resolve it. And I think what happens is that the internet and AI now just gets to amplify that even more. So whatever data sets are being used to train the large language models, like, there is no way of actually verifying, is this factual? Not just the truth, but is it factual? Because that is what we need. We need facts, and not just, because truth is relative, but facts you cannot dispute. So are they being fed with facts, or are they being fed with truths? And most of the time they're just using truths, and it's truths based on what has been captured, perspective of the person who captured the data, basically, and not necessarily fact. So now that means the misinformation is now even at a greater level. We saw the kind of misinformation that we had during COVID. Anything that was found on the internet and shared on family WhatsApp groups, our aunties and uncles forwarded us, bathe in jik, I don't know, do what. Because I saw it on the internet. That may be somebody's truth, but is it factual at the end of the day? And I think that will forever remain a challenge whenever we're dealing with any kind of information, no matter the source. The fact that truths, people believe truths more than they believe facts.
In my personal opinion, I don't know that regulating AI would help with misinformation and biases, because even if AI gets regulated, social media still exists. So unless we're regulating everything from the beginning down to AI, then maybe something might change. But as long as we're just regulating one thing and everything else remains the same, then misinformation has existed long before AI, as Marv was mentioned. So it's not that AI has brought misinformation, it's just amplified it. So if we're going to regulate AI, then we might as well, on the basis of misinformation, then we might as well regulate everything else.
Yeah, but you might be held liable if you feed your machinery the false information per se, especially if your tool is not directly connected to the internet. So would that be something that would be worth regulating, right? I think so.
Could be, but then again, as I think I've mentioned, people are free to post whatever they want as fact or as their truth on social media.
Yeah.
So I don't know how big a change it would make for us to regulate that aspect of AI, but it could be useful.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the free speech people will come and say, there's free speech. I have a right to express myself so long as I'm not directly injuring or hurting someone. So yeah, it's quite a challenge to bring in the regulation.
What are the trends that you guys are seeing maybe in the next, I wanted to say 5 years, but this thing is moving so quickly, it could be next month. Maybe Tekla, we can start with you as the trend spotter.
Yes, quite a lot. And I think the advent of AI has made our jobs really hard because you can't really say anything for certain, because you say one thing today, tomorrow it's changed. Like things change so fast. But then I think one of the things that we've observed is a general acceptance of AI within different. So as far as using AI in advertising is concerned, 85% trust brands that use AI. So I don't think there's going to be an issue on that front. So brands can use AI as much as they like. Yeah, I think as far as product consumption is concerned as well, when it comes to the marketing and advertising space, what people are looking for right now is authenticity, resonance, and I think personalization. So if you're capturing all that, whether you're doing it traditionally or you're doing it with AI, people don't really care much. So if you're using AI to be authentic, people will still buy from you or will still consume the content. But then if you're using AI and you're still not authentic, it doesn't matter what kind of technology you're using. If you're not authentic, you're not personalizing, and you're not resonating, then you have no foot to stand on at all.
Okay.
I agree. Authenticity will definitely come at a premium, or rather will be a bigger premium. Like stuff that is done made by humans. Actually, made by humans will end up becoming selling points for many products and many companies. The very same way handcrafted furniture comes at a premium, or handcrafted shoes become a premium. So even made by humans, campaigns, prints, or whatever it would be, will actually become at a premium. And then slowly by slowly, we will stop. I think we will see AI will stop becoming a thing as it is right now. We will no longer say, oh, that is AI. It should be like, oh, just another campaign or another ad. I don't think we'll be seeing the difference that much, because AI will end up becoming so good at what it does as it keeps learning from how it's been used. So it will stop becoming a thing. I think the very same way a couple of years back, actually not a couple of years ago, maybe it's like almost 30 years ago, when now desktop publishing started becoming commonplace in advertising. So people moved from traditional ways of creating a print ad, which was now darkroom transparencies and using almost like film because it was a whole darkroom. Making a print ad was a whole darkroom process. And as desktop publishing came in, now people started seeing a difference, and things like color separations became no longer unnecessary, and now digital took over. And I think we're going to get to a place whereby now nobody's even really talking about AI because it's so commonplace. The very same way nobody says this was actually created on a computer. This print ad was done on a computer. This was edited on. This wasn't shot on film. This was shot on digital. It starts becoming a thing. People just want to see what's the message, what's in it for me. Yeah. I think people will stop focusing on how it was made. Yeah. And now the focus will remain, as it has always been, on what's in it for me, what's the message, how am I going to benefit from using this product or this service. That, at the end of the day, is what rises to the top.
You're very right, Mob. And I'm just thinking, I'm a movie buff, so I'm just thinking about Dolby Surround and original film. And when you walk into a theater, when you put on Netflix, you don't care about those things. You just want to see the movie. You don't care whether it's Dolby Surround, whether they announce it or not. Like, can I hear? Can I watch? That's it. Yeah.
I think with the concern about AI taking jobs, as Marv has mentioned, it's going to become like common. It's going to become everyday, like social media became a thing. Because I remember as well when social media marketing became a thing, everybody was so, this is not going to catch on. But then it's become the big thing now. So social media is now a marketing tool more than a social tool. So I think it's also going to push a new wave of adaptability in that. So there's jobs that are going to be not completely replaced, but they're going to change. So people are going to need to upskill so that they fit into now this new world that's being created by AI. So it might replace a few jobs, but it's going to create new ones within those spaces that people can now obtain.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, guys. Hopefully, we can have another chat about this in a couple of months. Maybe we'll still have our jobs, or maybe we'll have changed our titles. But I know we'll still be here. Our titles might change, but I know we'll still be here. And it will be great talking to you guys. It's been great having the insights from you both. And let's see where this goes.